Have you ever felt the sting of being talked over, as if your voice were nothing more than background noise? Have you watched others interrupt you mid-sentence, redirecting the conversation as though your thoughts held no weight? Have you sat in a group, your presence so faint that you might as well have been invisible? If you recognize any of this, you're in good company. But that doesn't make the experience any less painful. The truth is, nobody can show you respect until you learn to respect yourself. And until that most terrifying act of self-acceptance happens, the world will simply mirror back your own unspoken beliefs about your worth. Carl Jung warned, "The most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely, and therein lies the secret acceleration of disrespect, your own fear of seeing and honoring every part of yourself. Every time you say yes when your body screams no, you reinforce a silent contract. Your needs are secondary and your boundaries are optional. You forgive insults without apology. You shoulder responsibilities that exhaust you. You swallow your anger to keep the peace. And what do you get in return? Contempt, indifference, silence. A brutal reflection of the belief that you are not worthy of consideration. Why does this cycle persist? Because external reality is a mirror of your unconscious. Jung taught that what you repress within will manifest without. If you carry the hidden conviction that you are unworthy, exploiters, dismissers, and mockers will find you. If you believe you deserve obscurity, you will be overlooked. It's not coincidence or bad luck. It is symbolic manifestation. You attract not what you desire, but what you unconsciously believe you deserve. The first step toward liberation is to recognize that you are both the victim and the architect of the reality you experience. This pattern often begins in childhood. Perhaps you learn that good children stay silent, that love comes with obedience, or that self-expression invites punishment. You might have been praised for being helpful, but never for being yourself. These early scripts solidified into unconscious habits. The good child who pleases, the peacemaker who avoids conflict, the healer who gives and never receives. These unconscious loyalties guide your adult relationships, compelling you to bend until you break, hoping that your sacrifices will eventually be acknowledged as proof of your worth. Enter the persona and the shadow, two sides of your psychological coin. The persona is the mask you craft to gain acceptance, polite, accommodating, flawless. It wins approval, but at the cost of your authenticity. The more you invest in the persona, the more you lose touch with your real self. The shadow, conversely, is the hidden repository of your disowned traits: anger, assertiveness, self-protection. You buried these qualities because you believed they were unacceptable. Yet what is repressed gains strength in the underground of the soul, whispering, "Better not," whenever you attempt to assert yourself. This internal dichotomy leaves you trapped between a mask you can't fully embody and a shadow you fear to unleash. Most people confuse silence in the face of disrespect with maturity. They mistake submission for wisdom. In reality, unexpressed needs and unclaimed power morph into passive resentment, anxiety, and chronic self-betrayal. You learn to smile while your boundaries crumble. You rationalize abuses as lessons in patience. You forgive prematurely, believing that forgiveness equals love. But this kind of forgiveness is not healthy. It is a survival mechanism that nullifies your dignity. True maturity lies not in perpetual compliance, but in owning your voice, even if that means rocking the boat. So what shifts the pattern? Where does true respect begin? Respect begins when you impose limits on yourself and the world, when you say the single most powerful word of self-love, no. Saying no is the first concrete act of self-respect. It tells the world and reminds you that your time, energy, and well-being matter. It creates the boundaries that protect your inner life. Yes, at first you may face guilt, pushback, or confusion from those accustomed to exploiting your generosity. But their discomfort is proof that your limits are real and necessary. To anchor self-respect in your daily life, follow these 5 practical tools. 1. Use discomfort as a compass. When you feel a tightening in your chest or a lump in your throat, pause and ask, if I truly respected myself, what would I do right now? Follow that inner prompt, whether it leads to leaving a conversation, declining an invitation, or speaking up. Discomfort is your body's alarm system signaling that you're betraying your own needs. Second, stop over-justifying. Affirm, no, that won't work for me, is sufficient. Every extra sentence reveals guilt and invites negotiation. Remember, respect starts with firmness. When you over-explain, you communicate that you doubt your own decision. 3. Prioritize yourself in your schedule. Examine your calendar. How many hours are devoted to your own nourishment? Mental, physical, spiritual. If the answer is 0, that omission is a declaration of self-disrespect. Block at least 1 hour daily for activities that invigorate you, and treat it as immovable. 5. Replace reactivity with reflection. When you're insulted or overwhelmed, resist the impulse to lash out or withdraw. Instead, breathe, hold space, and then say, this isn't okay for me. Assert your boundary calmly and without apology. This reflective pause is where self-respect is forged. 5. Surround yourself with uplifting people. Your environment is a mirror. Notice who seeks you out only when they need something. Those are the energy vampires. Gently distance yourself from them. Those who truly care will make space. Those who don't were never for you. Beyond these tools lies the work of integrating your shadow. Every trait you deemed unacceptable, your anger, your drive to protect yourself, your demand for justice, needs acknowledgement and integration. Rejecting these qualities leaves them underground, fueling self-sabotage. Embracing them doesn't turn you into a tyrant, it makes you whole. A whole person doesn't live at the mercy of others' whims. A whole person knows their value and commands authentic respect. Even as you rebuild self-respect, beware the final trap, the fear of solitude. Emotional dependency is the last shackle. If you fear being alone, you'll cling to relationships that suffocate you, trading your authenticity for companionship. Freedom comes when you can bear your own company, when your worth is self-contained and no longer up for negotiation. In solitude, you discover your essence. In relationship, you choose connection from a place of abundance, not need. Here's the harsh but liberating truth. The disrespect you receive is not bad luck. It is the reflection of your relationship with yourself. You teach the world how to treat you by how you treat yourself. If you want respect, start by giving it to yourself. Each time someone crosses your boundary, you have a choice. Remain silent and reinforce the old narrative, or stand firm and rewrite your story. You don't need aggression, just unwavering honesty with yourself. Choose today to say aloud, I choose to respect myself. Let these words echo in your mind and in every mirror you face. commit to practicing the 5 tools, integrating your shadow, and learning to bear your own company. Subscribe for the next chapter, where we'll dive into advanced shadow integration practices and transformative rituals that cement your self-respect. When you respect yourself, respect from others becomes not a hope, but an inevitability.